Hello everyone, and thank you for joining my channel. In the previous video, I shared my vision of awakening humanity's spiritual potential. We also explored principle number 1. The divine resides in your heart, along with 3 tools for spiritual awakening: sound, imagination, and emotion, that we will use in future chapters. In this next video, we'll dive into principle number 2, internal-external synergy, IES. When I was 4 years old, I loved kindergarten. Every day I was excited to go and learn something new. It was a relaxed environment where we explored various topics as they came up, guided by our wonderful teacher. She would suggest ideas, and we would dive into whatever sparked our interest. When the school year ended, I transitioned from kindergarten to first grade. On the first day, our new teacher outlined the differences. We would now follow a textbook, adhere to a curriculum, complete homework, take tests, and receive monthly grades. I didn't like this new structure at all. In kindergarten, there were no homework or exams. We simply did activities, learned, and had fun. I wasn't ready to accept this new system. When I didn't turn in my homework, the teacher scolded me and lowered my grade for the month. This made me resent the system, and I resisted it. I avoided doing my homework in the afternoon, but by morning I would feel anxious, with a nervous, tingling sensation in my stomach for not having completed it. There were more kids in the classroom with attitudes like mine, low grades, and seen by the teacher as either rebels or slow learners. Things escalated to the point where, while I was sitting at the front of the class, the angry teacher, glaring at me, grabbed another student by the hair and slammed his head against the blackboard, saying, "This is what I do to donkeys." That year left a deep mark on me, causing trauma and a lasting aversion to school. I decided I didn't want to be an intellectual and refused to read or write. Ever since, I've always resisted both. Without artificial intelligence, making this video would have been impossible for me. When we lived in Mexico City, my father began having health problems, and the doctor recommended moving to a place at sea level. Following the doctor's suggestion, our family relocated to Puerto Vallarta in 1969. That year I enrolled in a public school for my first year of secondary education. My attitude towards school was minimal effort just to pass. In my second year, one of the required subjects was algebra. On the first day of class, we were informed that our regular teacher had just had a baby and wouldn't return until the second part of the school year. As a result, we had 2 substitute teachers for the first semester, an engineer and an accountant. I remained indifferent and uninterested because I felt the topic was chaotic and unimportant. When the second semester began, the teacher who normally taught the class returned. Without wasting any time, she greeted the class and gave us a test to gauge our knowledge of algebra. After grading the exams, she realized that nobody knew anything about the subject. She then informed us that we would cover the entire year's material in just half the available time. She also mentioned that the final month's grade would be based on our notebook notes. The teacher started teaching and something changed in me. I began to understand everything she said, absorbing the information like a dry sponge. I retained everything she taught, and I was fascinated by her clear way of presenting the information using logic, analysis, structure, deduction, and clarity. What I began to notice was the certainty in mathematics for solving problems, as there was only one correct answer for each problem. This concept, that I could understand, improve, or disprove a problem with a single objective result, greatly fascinated me. Despite the fast pace, I was able to keep up easily, and my grades were among the highest in the class. However, at the end of the year, when the teacher reviewed our notebooks for the final grade, I had none, which resulted in a poor grade for that month. Still, I performed well overall in the class. This experience completely changed my life. After this algebra class, I knew what I wanted to do with my life. In 1970, we returned to Mexico City due to financial difficulties. With family help, I enrolled in the 3rd year of secondary school. Here, the math teacher was very bad, unable to balance a simple equation. However, the textbook, A Baldor, was excellent, containing the subject of geometry, trigonometry, exponential, and logarithms. Interestingly, the teacher started the course from the middle of the book, planning to cover the first half later. Understanding the structured nature of math, I decided to start from the beginning. I sat at the back of the class, studying the book independently. My grades suffered initially, but improved significantly once I caught up with the teacher's lessons. This experience taught me that learning is my responsibility. Mathematics fascinated me because it was something I could independently verify without relying on any authority, be it family, teachers, religion, or government. The internal process of determining the truth was empowering. I picked a physics book that my brother Abraham used in his first year of high school that was an introductory physics book. I discovered that the language of mathematics could be used to understand physics, a revelation that captivated me. This connection between the external world physics and an internal language mathematics was fascinating to me. Many years later, through various experiences exploring the relationship between the internal to the external, I discovered a new fundamental principle for spiritual awakening. This principle is one of the most crucial in understanding spirituality, internal-external synergy, IES. Emphasizes that your relationship with the external world is relative to your internal state. The connection between your inner and outer worlds is fluid, meaning shifts within your internal state leads to corresponding changes in your external experiences. Internal-external synergy, IES. Level 1. The experience for the world of physics is related to your internal understanding of mathematics. Further levels of internal-external synergy, IES, will be discussed later in this channel. For 8 years I was deeply immersed in mathematics and physics, becoming like a monk in both fields. During this time I also collaborated with my brothers on various engineering projects, including building an electric car. We competed in the Silent Race, an event organized by the Mexico City government. One day in 1973, while studying at home, I suddenly heard a voice. What about Jesus Christ? I realized it came from my heart, from the divine. Surprised, I responded, What do you mean? It felt like a dialogue with my heart, as if we were two different individuals. My heart asked again, What about Jesus Christ? I replied, We don't need Jesus Christ. We have mathematics and physics. What more do you want? My heart insisted. No, what about Jesus Christ? My mind replied, Okay, fine, I will try. I decided to start with the basics, just like in mathematics, beginning with Genesis. I found a Bible and began reading Genesis from the start to finish. When I finished, I told my heart, This is chaos. There's nothing to learn here. Then my mind asked my heart, Can we go back to studying physics and mathematics now? And my heart replied, No, we have to go directly to the source. My mind asked, But how? And my heart insisted. We have to go directly to the source. My mind said, Okay, well, we will do it. I looked for an isolated room in the house where there was a bed. I went in, closed the door, and lay on the bed on my back, eyes open, looking at the footboard. I prepared for the experiment with my entire being. I proclaimed, Christ, what do you want from me? It was an intense emotion made with every cell in my body. Again I proclaimed, Jesus Christ, what do you want from me? With my eyes open, Jesus Christ appeared. He was visible from the waist up, wearing a tunic, with blue eyes, blonde hair, and very white skin. He said, Whether you want to believe in me or not is not important, but you must believe in yourself. I felt a world of emotion, but one feeling stood out, and replied with my entire being, Then I won't believe in you. And Christ disappeared. When I saw Christ with blue eyes, blonde hair, and white skin, I remembered the picture found in many churches depicting Christ as an European Anglo-Saxon. Somehow this made me feel that there was some programming in my experience, but the energy that appeared before me used the memory implanted by the church that I had in my mind. Yet I also felt that this energy was authentic and wanted me to continue with my experience as I wanted to feel it. I never again experienced such a deep conversation between my heart and mind. Despite the strong influence of my family in shaping my early emotional development and heart connection, something I'm grateful for, I ultimately chose to leave my Christian tradition. This decision was essential for my spiritual growth, as it gave me the freedom to explore and provided me with two new tools: Declaration of Spiritual Autonomy and independence from any ideology. The next chapter will describe additional levels for IES. Please subscribe to my channel, click in my heart,